Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunex, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
That's you, Grumpy. So before we get into our show today, we got to go over some housekeeping real quick. And also, happy New Year's Eve to everybody. The New Year's right around the corner.
That's right. Right around the corner. It's like right down the end of the street.
I know. Right around the corner, Grumpy. Right around the corner. Yep. So if you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications and comments. We can juice up the algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. We want as many people as possible watching this show. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. We usually typically host this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, New Year's Eve, people probably have plans later on, so we figured we'd schedule it a little bit earlier.
Let me just tell you something. Our audience, they're partying crowd, I think.
Our partying crowd? Okay, so they're going to be out and about.
They'll be out until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Probably they're already in pregame mode now.
They're listening to the podcast to pregame.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
That's exactly what it is.
A little bit of Islanders news before kicking in the new year.
Yep. So I know a little bit different from usual. Started the show a little early today, but yeah. If you guys do enjoy the content over here, you should definitely check us out on our other channel called the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. It's more of an all sports podcast, sports media, everything under the sun kind of show.
Conspiracy corner with
Conspiracy corner with me. That's right. Always come true. Always come true.
If you want to hear me tell X to shut up and move on, that's the show to listen to.
Anyway,
is that not true, X?
Yeah.
How many times have I told you to shut up and move on that show?
Too many. Too many to count. I don't have enough fingers.
How many more do I have to? How many more times do I have to tell you?
Way more. Way more.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Not too many more. Yeah,
not too many more.
I know. Yep. Anyway, so we usually host that show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoy this show, definitely go check us out. If you enjoy other sports or, media, music, kind of everything. We talk about everything. Throw out a topic. We'll talk about it. So anyway.
You can find out how little Sunnex knows about everything.
In massive amounts. We had 3 games since our last show, Grumpy?
I don't know. Remember, I predicted the Islanders would go 1-1-1.
That you did.
And last night I was feeling, oh yeah. I knew they beat the Rangers. I thought that they would tie and lose in overtime to Columbus, and I thought they'd lose to Chicago. And
yes.
they beat Columbus, beat the Rangers, which I expected. Yep. And then Chicago had so many chances in that game that they did not capitalize, and the Islanders, of course, won the shootout. Bo Horvat,
scoring. Been playing well. He'd
been playing really, really well. So
playing well.
Here's the thing: Chicago's a bad team. They started off pretty good. Bedard's out, Nazara's out. They're struggling right now. Again, the Islanders are outplayed. It's just, I don't know. But hey, we want to wrap up 2025, right, X?
That we do. Okay.
Let's wrap up. But before we do our wrap-up show, let's see how many games do we have before next week? Because I'm going to see how accurate I am at predicting what the Islanders are going to do. They got the Mammoth tomorrow.
Yep. And then January 3rd, we have the Maple Leafs. I don't know what.
Maple Leafs.
I got to pull up the calendar.
So it's a Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday game next week.
Yes.
So I think the Islanders will go in there. 3 home games for the Islanders. Okay. Was it 3 home games? I believe it's 3 home games. I don't know where they are. You tell me, X.
I think these are away.
Road games. Okay. Yeah. I'm just looking. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's different. Doesn't matter.
No. These are home games. Sorry.
Oops. Okay. Right. Okay. The bottom team is the
UBS.
Home.
Yeah. UBS. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say that I think we're going to lose to the Mammoth.
I'd agree with that.
I think we're going to beat the Maple Leafs.
I could see the Maple Leafs have not turned it around yet this year, and I think we lose to New Jersey.
I think we get an overtime win against New Jersey.
I think we lose to New Jersey. They have Hughes back now.
Yeah, but they're still not scoring.
You know what a perfect team for them to start doing it against is, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, a perfect team for them to start doing that again is
Oh,
against, right?
well, yeah, I don't know. But David Riddick's been really good filling in for Ilya Sorokin.
Yep.
So
He has been, but he's no Sorokin.
No, but he's been darn good. I think that's fair to say.
I don't think you can complain. I don't think you can complain.
Anyone who's listening today, just forgive me. I am sick. One thing, everyone knows I pick up my super baby girl, Liza, but you forget the kids are sick all the time.
They carry germs, Grumpy.
Yeah, and I can't help giving a little smoochies. I give a little smoochies on her head all the time. I can't help it. I think she's got like a little callus on her forehead for me kissing her a lot. But unfortunately, you catch a lot of cold. So I've been really sick the last few days. And hopefully I'll be okay by this Sunday when we do our next show. That's what I'm hoping to be coming out the other side. Okay. So let's do how do we want to approach this, X? Do we want to just talk about everything that happened? Do we want to talk about the Olympics? Do we want to talk about Cole Eiserman? What do we want to hit on first? I'm going to let you carry the ball in how we want to take this discussion forward.
Let's talk about the Olympics first.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Olympics first.
Okay.
And I can go into it a little bit. They released Team Canada, their roster. Bo Horvat. I'll just keep it to Islanders. Bo Horvat made the team, but no Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah.
No Schaefer.
What do you think about that, X?
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. The only thing I could potentially think of as a reason why they did not put him on the team is lack of experience, and that would be about it.
Interesting. Go ahead. Is that it? Is that all you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I would just say lack of experience due to, it's the Olympics is a different, at least I'll say for other nations when it comes to playing sports, it's a different beast than it is for the United States. The United States, it's just another game. For these other people in other countries, and I don't know specifically how much it is for Canadians, but they will bleed for the team. Like they will try, in my opinion, they'll try harder for their international team than they will for, the NHL team they play for.
Okay. I watched, it was interesting you say not as experienced. Do you want to know how many of the defensemen on Team Canada have Olympic experience?
I'm going to say 0.
1.
Oh, 1. Okay.
Drew Doughty, who's 37, 38 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
But how long have the other players been in the NHL, though?
Okay. Thomas Harley has been in the league. This is his second year in the league.
Okay.
And he was good last year. He was fill-in for the Four Nations tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And he played well in that tournament as a late call-up due to injury. And he's been not good this year. As you know, since he's on your fantasy team, X, he's not been good. He's been injured. And he's been poor defensively, which doesn't hurt your fantasy stats. But he's not been as good this year as he was last year. And I think it was one of the color. I watched the YouTube show from TSN, which had, their guys. And one of them was an ex-player. I want to say his name is Armstrong. I forget his first name, not the GM, Doug Armstrong, who picked the team, but Colby Armstrong. And everyone was saying, oh, well, Matthew Schaefer, he doesn't have that experience. That's the only reason they could see him not making it. And then Armstrong said, well, you know what? Thomas Harley didn't have any experience playing until the Four Nations Cup last year, and he did fine.
Is this Colby? Is this the guy?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Okay, so it was Colby Armstrong.
I think that's him. Like I said, I watched it earlier today. I forget the face. I don't know. But he was pro Schaefer making the team. Matthew Schaefer should have made the team, period.
I was just saying the only reasoning that I could logically think of, it's not like he's had a crappy year this year. He's been one of the better defensemen in the NHL. I think that's, there's no argument to be held there. The only thing I could possibly think of logical reason why they didn't select him was due to lack of experience.
Okay.
That, or he's young. I think it's a stupid reason. I think it's a stupid reason, but at the same point in time, that's the only thing I could think of.
Well, we shouldn't have played Bobby Orr in any of those tournaments too when he was young because what the hell? Because he's young. It's the stupidest excuse there is.
Okay. Again, I agree with you. I'm not agreeing with Team Canada's selection. I'm just saying the only thing I could think of as to why they would do it is due to lack of experience. That's it.
Here's the thing. He's better defensively than most all those other.
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
All the old hammerheads just, well, this is what we did last time and blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is Canada's tournament to win. Let's be honest, right? They have the most talented team without a doubt.
They still lose to the U.S. though. Or no, we lost to Canada in the Four Nations. That's right. We lost.
Yeah.
U.S. lost to Canada. That's right.
Canada has the most talented team. They do.
Yeah.
He's like supposedly the first call up. If somebody gets hurt, he'll get called up. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is put him on the team. They pick 8 defensemen. Doesn't mean he's got to play every night. I just think it would have been the experience would have been invaluable for him.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He deserved it. I did a comparison of all the players. With the exception of Cale Makar, he's the best offensive defenseman that there is on that grouping.
Yep.
Period. End of sentence, end of story. Josh Morrissey has 24 assists and 32 points, but Schaefer has 25. I mean, and, Winnipeg's a better team than the Islanders, let's be honest, right? More talented team. And he's their number one defenseman there. The fact that, Schaefer's playing 24, 25 minutes a night.
Should say something.
Yeah.
He has the lungs to do it, and he's doing it in the most difficult league on the planet.
That's right. So. He earned the spot.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that as an Islander fan. I'm just saying as a hockey fan,
he
earned the spot.
I wonder what Biz is going to say about this.
Well, who?
Did you remember he's in on the Islanders and he loves Schaefer? Biz.
Oh, Bitchinette? I have no idea. I don't even care what he thinks. But Travis Sanheim makes the team over him? Stop. Colt Parenko? Okay, Colt Parenko's solid defensively. Okay, you want to put him on there. Drew Doughty? I mean, he's cashed. He's cashed.
They have him there for the veteran experience, though. That's the reason they have him there. I'm telling you.
Okay. The majority of this team are the guys that played in the Nations 4 Cup.
So they do have international experience then.
Yes, exactly. Now, Sam Bennett did not make the team. He did not make the team this year.
I'm surprised. I'm astounded.
Tom Wilson made it instead. Oh, and Bo Horvat.
I could see Bo Horvat. Bo Horvat's been playing really well this year. I could absolutely see Bo Horvat making it. I'm shocked that Sam Bennett, after his year last year, did not make the team.
But he wasn't great the first couple of months this year. He wasn't. I'm just surprised. Now, it could be John Cooper. He's coach at Tampa. They hate Florida.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with it as well. I don't know. I would hope not. But Cirelli gets picked from Tampa. He gets picked. Wyatt Johnson doesn't make the team. He's second in the league in goals. How does he not make the team? Tom Wilson should have made the team. And it's funny. I was talking to your boy Phil today. And, around here, most people do not like Tom Wilson. And I understand. I mean, he used to be a goon supreme, without doubt. But he gets mass respect from me. He's turned himself into a hockey player.
Had to.
Valuable addition.
Had to. Game's changed.
But he has.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying he was forced to. But he was able to do it, is what you're saying. He was capable of doing it.
He plays on the power play, on the PK. In the last 2 minutes of every game, he's out there. He scores. He's you know what? I'd love to have Tom Wilson on the New York Islanders. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. He gets mass respect from me, and I've been thinking about that the last couple of weeks. I'm like, you know what? That guy's turned himself into a good player. He still does some stuff, less than he used to, of course. You can get older, you're a little bit less hot-headed. But he still does a lot less of that crazy stuff than he used to. So kudos to him. And congrats for Bo Horvat making the team. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yes. Agreed.
Connor Bedard didn't make it, right? Okay. And they're like, well, because he's hurt. I don't care. He's going to be back. I mean, how do you not put that kid on the team? And then, you have to think about it, though, right? You got to put 4 lines out there. You're not going to put 4 scoring lines. So you look at what's your potentially your 4th line going to be? Bo Horvat, Tom Wilson, Nick Suzuki, who also made the team. That's a really solid 4th line. That's what I mean. Canada's absolutely the favorite. Absolutely the favorite. Celebrini made it. They're saying, hey, he might play with McDavid. I mean, that's pretty good. Brad Marchand made it. How could he not? He's been great. But Jordan Bennington made it. Okay, he played good in the Nations Cup. Won that for them. The final game, he won Game 7 of a Stanley Cup. He's been terrible for St. Louis this year. Terrible.
Do you think they're maybe picking it based off of the previous tournament too, doing a little bit of selection that way too? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like for me, I just thought Schaefer absolutely deserved to make that team.
I agree.
I wanted him. I wanted him to be there. I wanted him to show out. I wanted the world to see how great he is.
Don't lie to yourself. You wanted to pick up a Schaefer Canada jersey. That's why.
Yeah, probably that's it.
Yeah. All right. I guess next topic is going to be little Islanders recap on the current season, how we feel they've been performing.
You see me blowing my nose and I'm muted. It's because I have to blow my nose. So you're going to have to talk for 5 or 6 seconds.
Okay.
So
Grumpy, you're done blowing.
Okay. Did we want to talk about that and then touch on Cole Eiserman, or do we want to talk about Cole Eiserman first?
That's fine. We can go to Cole Eiserman first.
Great. Cole Eiserman, who was supposed to be a fixture for Team USA in the World Juniors on the first line, has managed to, and I don't know if you were part of the show last year or not, when I was talking about Cole Eiserman in the Frozen Four, where he was goal hanging. He reminded me of.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, I saw highlights of the first game. I believe it was against Germany, and he did score. But I noticed the same thing where he's just kind of hanging out at the red line, turning the puck over, and not coming back and trying to fight for it coming back. Well, over the last number of games, I mean, he started off, he was, and this is courtesy of our friends at Eyes on Isles, put out an article. I like to give them a little bit of credit when I use their stuff, which is limited, of course. But last year at the 2025 World Juniors, he was like the 13th forward, mostly used on the power play because of his shot. And he wound up having 3 goals and 4 assists in 7 games when they won the gold medal. So this year he's expected to play a bigger role, right, for the USA.
Yes,
he's one of the more experienced guys, right? So that's what you're, excuse me, that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping that those guys, teach the young guys and lead by example. That has not been the case this year. And it's the same thing. If he's not scoring goals, what does he do? And, that's a common refrain with guys who are predominantly goal scorers, right?
Yep.
They're not scoring goals. Can they make themselves, useful to the team in the intro? Well, he's not been able to do that. There was a game where the United States was down 2-0 and 3-1 and had a man advantage, and Eiserman did not play on either power play. So he's managed to play himself off of the power play.
Yeah, it says here Bob Motzko has decided to take Cole Eiserman off of both power play units. Moments later, Slovakia scores short-handed, Grumpy. So, so they took him off both power play units, which means he has absolutely been demoted.
Right. And then you look at his ice time for the 3 games. 13:56, 12:41, 9:42. I mean, that was his ice. 9:42 was his total ice time in a 6-5 win over Slovakia, which was a team low, aside from the other Islander prospect on the team, Kamil Bednarik, who went into the game as a 13th forward.
Yep.
I keep on telling people that's why you have to really be careful. Everybody is not going to pan out. I'm not saying he's not going to pan out, but you could see signs where, okay, we've seen Oliver Wahlstrom before. We've seen Kiefer Bellows before. Is he gonna do enough where he can make himself serviceable if he's not scoring goals? I don't know. But he needs, I felt last year watching that, he needed to work on his game. I said, I just saw the highlights of the first game, and he looked like the same guy. He's not been great this year for BU. He's not been. Can he pick it up? That's all we can hope for, right?
Yep.
I mean, but would it shock me if he busted out? Not at all. Remember, he was a guy who was supposed to be, potentially the number 1 overall pick going into that draft, and he fell to the Islanders at whatever number they picked at, 15, 18, 19, whatever it was. There's a reason why teams started dropping him down on the board. And, there comes a chance, which, a spot where, okay, you know what? His talent outweighs our concerns. And that's what it is.
Yep.
But he's going to have to, if he doesn't score, it's a problem. It's a problem if he's not scoring. So he has to score.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not, he has to be part of the team that comes back and he's got to forecheck better. He's got to come back and mark his man coming back. And I didn't see that last year, and I haven't seen it this year. So
his game's predicated on scoring. If he's not doing that, he's going to have to change his game.
Correct.
Yep. Correct. Yep. And then I guess we'll go into the recap of the season, Grumpy.
Yes, we want to do that. And today will be a shorter show.
Yes.
Because, we don't want to be doing a super long show when people have things to do and stuff like that. And I know X has something to do, of course. So where are the Islanders right now? And they're right at the midway point, right?
Currently second in the Metro, but they have 2 games at hand over the Flyers.
They do not have the Flyers. No, the Flyers have 2 games in hand on the
Islanders. Sorry, I meant said it wrong. So flip-flopped them. Yes, Flyers have 2 games in hand over the Islanders. That's correct.
Right. So we're just going to look at the top 4 teams in the Metro. Capitals, 47 points in 40 games. Started off slow. They actually scuffled a little bit here recently.
Yep, 3-5-2 over their last 10. Yep.
Mm-hmm. They beat the Rangers today. X, if you could just run down the other ones, please, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, so we got the Flyers who have 38 games played and are sitting at 47 points. They are 4-2-4 over the last 10 on a 1-game win streak. Then we have us, New York Islanders, who have 40 games played, 48 points, 6-3-1 over the last 10, which has been pretty good. And then the Canes, who are obviously the number 1 favorite team to finish number 1 in the Metro. They have 39 games played, 51 points, 6-3-1 over the last 10, and their last game was a loss.
Expectations going into the season for the Islanders were
exceeded.
They were what?
I said they've exceeded my expectations going into the season.
Right.
I expected them to be middle 500 team, or middle of the pack in the Metro is what I projected them to be.
Now,
middle lower.
Right. Now, I figured they'd be scuffling around, 8, 9, 10 in that range.
Yep.
Right now, they're not. They've absolutely exceeded expectations for certain. And it's all because of number 48. And
Sorokin is back
30,
too.
48, 30, 13, and 14.
Yep.
Those are the 4 players that are driving the team, without a doubt.
They're carrying. Absolutely.
Their team defense is still shoddy.
Yep.
For the most part, they've been bailed out by Ilya Sorokin countless times.
Yes.
He's second in the league in goals saved above expected.
Yep.
I don't know even how they figure that out, but since it proves my point, where
some analyst goes through and tracks and calculates all that.
Yeah. Now, like for me, I'm not going to even pretend that I like analytics. I'm an eyeball guy, but if the analytics prove my point from what I see,
you'll use them.
So yeah, shameless like that. I don't care. I expect the Capitals to be better as the season goes on. Let's give Rick Tocchet some credit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 38 games and they're 1 point behind the Islanders. I still don't believe in the Flyers. Just don't. The more the Islanders play, the more they rack up points, even though they've been outplayed. And this is just for making the playoffs, right? I almost feel like they're going to make the playoffs, but you're starting to see teams in the Atlantic Division really start to move up.
Yep.
Florida has moved up. I'm surprised at the staying power of the Red Wings and the Canadians, honestly.
I know my Bruins are not doing too well. My prediction on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, well, that's
They've
what
fallen
they
off.
are. That's what they are.
Yeah. They'll come back. They'll come back. They'll make it.
Maybe next year they'll come back.
You were getting worried though there for a little bit, weren't you?
I was not.
Yeah, you were.
Buffalo Sabres have won 9 games.
9 straight. Yeah.
9 straight.
Wild.
I mean, think about it. They've 44 points in 38 games. If they win their next 2 games, they're on par with the Islanders.
Yep.
And right now, and that would be second in the Metro Division, and they're 5th in the Atlantic. I mean, Red Wings, are the Canadians that good? I don't know. Their goal differential for a team that's 21, 12, and 6 is -1.
Okay, but look at the Red Wings. Theirs is -4.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sold on either.
Lightning are the real deal with a +25. I mean, they can put the puck in the back of the net. And here's the thing: if they're playing you and they go up, they can really pour it on.
Yeah, they're good.
They're a team that can absolutely pour it on you.
They're good. And Toronto, if you just go back, yeah, there you go. Toronto, scuffling along, 42 points in 39. You know they're still in the hunt.
I'm worried if I'm a Toronto fan, though. I'm worried. I'm really concerned.
I agree. I think that they need a new coach. I think the Craig Berube thing is it's just not going to work there. Can you go to the bottom of the Metro Division, please? And there's something I just want to comment on all the way. Keep on going.
I can't scroll down anymore. Give me a second.
Okay, there we go. I don't know if you noticed. If you take a look at all the teams in the Eastern Conference, not one team has a losing record.
It's due to we talked about this, due to the overtime.
Yes. Yep. The fact that nobody in the whole conference has a losing record is ridiculous. I bet if you look at the whole league, there's only 6 teams that have a losing record. How is that even possible that only 6 teams would have a losing record?
Because everybody plays for overtime to get the overtime point.
Bingo.
That's why.
And I was watching that Chicago game last night, and I'm like, these guys were playing from the 10-minute mark on, both teams. Well, we're just going to play for the loser point. Something has to change. I've changed even what I wanted to say. 3 points for a win, 1 point for an overtime win, 0 points for any type of loss. That's it.
I'd say, yeah, one point for well, I was going to say 1 point for a draw, but yeah, 1 point for the overtime win, 3 for a standard regulation win, and 0 for a loss. Yeah, that was what my original take was.
I say 0 for a tie as well. 3 points for a regulation win.
Yeah, I don't think you can get a tie because it goes to shootout.
Well, no shootout. After 5 minutes?
I'm fine with shootout. I'm fine with shootout, and if you win the shootout, you get a point, but the other team should not be awarded a point for losing. I'm sorry. No.
That's fine.
You get 0. You win in shootout, or you win in overtime, you get the 1 point. And then if you win in regulation, you get 3. Because guess what? It's going to make people chase that win a heck of a lot more than trying to play for overtime. You're going to see games open. You know what it's going to be? It would be a better product. It would be a better product because you're really going to see teams open it up and try and score and try and win in regulation.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. So I that's my thoughts on that. I think you've known I've kind of had a firm stance on that. And actually, it almost mirrors how they do it in soccer. It's very similar to that, how they do it in soccer. That's how they divvy up the points, except they have draws. So each team gets 1 point. But instead of giving it to the loser team, since they have overtime and shootout, penalty shootout, the team that gets the win in overtime will get the 1 point.
It'll make the games more exciting.
Yeah, absolutely will.
The games more exciting. Teams will be more desperate to score.
Yeah, the end of games will be crazy.
Yep.
Especially if they're tied. Oh, yeah, be nuts.
So I'm just gonna say, let's ask a question. Who's been your most now? X was not a big hockey guy coming into the season, and he's still not a big hockey guy, but he's getting there, right? X, you'd say.
I'm practicing. I'm practicing. Yeah.
Okay. Who's been your Islanders MVP to start the year?
Well, I mean, I could just give the stereotypical answer Matthew Schaefer, but I'll say there's two. I'm gonna pick one defensive and one offense. I think Bo Horvat's been playing really, really well this year. I think he's been great. And then I'll give it to Schaefer as the defensive MVP.
Okay.
So far, that's who I have. I have offensive and defensive MVP. It's Bo Horvat and Schaefer.
Okay. For me, it's Bo Horvat's not for me. He's not MVP for the Islanders at all.
I'm saying for offensive talent.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm just looking at most valuable player of the team so far. It's got to be Schaefer with Sorokin.
Or Sorokin. Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say that too. But I didn't want to. I wanted to give an answer other than just, it's Matthew Schaefer. Oh, I wanted to give something else other than that. But
I will say that it's very interesting that Bo Horvat's playing this well. I mean, I think that this has by far been his best year for the Islanders. He's shooting the puck a lot more. His shooting percentage is way up this year. But at the end of the day, there's four guys who are driving the team, like we mentioned up the top, right?
yeah.
Sorokin's been sensational, particularly after
the coach change. Yep.
That was a huge for them, and he's back to being,
the old Sorokin of past.
That's right, Vezina Trophy.
Yes, candidate. Yep.
And you have Matthew Schaefer, who's just changed the whole dynamic of the team. Honestly, that's why.
Yep.
That's why I would That's why he's my number one.
You know what? You want to know who else I'm going to put in there as being an MVP, Grumpy?
Don't even say it.
Darsh, baby. It's Darsh. Changing the culture, Grump. Changing the culture. Who's your LVP, your least valuable player? Just say it. We know. I just did this just because I want to hear his name.
I thought you were going to say Max Siplikov, the guy who.
No. You know who the LVP is.
Well, actually, not Romanov. I think he's actually been the most valuable player. The fact that he's got injured and was so shitty to start the year, it's been addition by subtraction. They've been better since he's been gone.
Oh, my God.
So Alexander Romanov, most valuable player.
He's more of the MVI, most valuable injury.
Yeah, that was good. But no, I mean, those are the top guys, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel us and all the fans pretty much feel the same in that regards. I feel like everybody kind of has the same selection.
Who can you name a player that you feel has outperformed expectations? I think it's pretty easy. Myself.
I mean, from what my expectations were from when he was drafted, I would say Schaefer, but then also Barzal, because I didn't think he would be able to come back as well as he has from the knee injury. I thought his game was going to take a big dip.
Okay, I mean somebody else on the roster, not the big four. Unsung hero.
Rittich
has been really good in the backup role. Okay, mine's Emil Henneman.
I was also gonna say Emil Henneman's been playing well too. I know you joke and call him the fourth liner, but he has been playing well.
He is a fourth liner. I'm not joking about that, but he's absolutely outperformed what I expected of him this year, and I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is he great offensively? No. Is he great defensively? No. But he gives you a yeoman's work, honest effort every night. He finishes his checks. He skates hard. I mean, he's got a good shot, doesn't have a speck of wiggle in his game at all. But for me, I'm surprised that he's played as well as he has. And it could be because he plays, on that first line, so he gets a lot of opportunities. Yeah. But you know what? He's taking advantage of his opportunities.
I'll say it helps when you play with the better players. It does.
Who has been disappointing, do you think? There are a couple players that I consider disappointing the first half of the year.
My boy Sip has not been playing as well as I saw the highlights of him in last year. So I have to say my boy Siplikov has not been playing very well.
Yeah, Siplikov is. I think this will be his last year.
Yeah,
I think they'll move on from him. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who's kind of underperformed this year to your expectations? who you thought was going to be better.
Okay. My expectations really weren't expectations at the beginning of the year. If we're being honest, I didn't know much at all about the team.
All right, that's fine. Going into the season, I was expecting to see Casper Holmstrom do a little bit more than he has this year. He's been underwhelming, and I feel kind of bad for him because I don't think Patrick Waugh likes him. I think that's the biggest issue. He doesn't like him, and that it can be problematic, right? So I think he's been a little bit underwhelming. Max Siplikoff once again, but Jonathan Drouin has been I know he's got points, but I don't know. He just, to me, he's not been impressive this year. I mean, he didn't cost a whole lot, but you were expecting him to be on your first line, were you not?
Yeah.
And he's just not. I mean, so if I'm looking at some underwhelming players, but I think we had more players
overperformed than
underperformed. And I think that has a lot to do where they are in the standings. And let's give Patrick Waugh a little bit of credit too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You wonder how much of a burden having Lamoriello. What is that you're playing at?
Was that the cheering?
No.
Oh God. Okay, I don't have them labeled.
Okay, you should label them because.
Sorry, I tried to
playing some random music in the middle of my conversation is not appropriate.
All right. I'll refrain from using the buttons.
You have to wonder how much of a burden having that old fossil as a general manager was weighing on Patrick Waugh and the decisions that were made. Because I mean, I think the Islanders, even though they're playing a similar style, they are more up-tempo in the offense. They're very opportunistic. And I still don't think they're good enough to do anything. But I think Patrick Waugh has done a nice job guiding this team to second place in the Metro so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they could wind up in fourth or fifth. I don't think that's going to happen, but they could. But for the first half of the year, I think he's done a wonderful job. I don't think any fan should be disappointed at that.
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree 100%. You want to knock out some comments, Grumpy?
Yeah, I do want to do the ad read first, but if you could ad lib for just a couple seconds, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I will pull up some comments while Grumpy's doing that. Mario says, Happy New Year, Grumpy and company. Thank you so much, Mario. Happy New Year to you as well and everybody else in the chat. Freedom says, Happy New Year's Eve. May 2026 be blessed, healthy, abundant, and full for all good people and corrective for all the evil people. Very true. Very true. And then Stevie says, what's up, X and Grump? What's up, Stevie? How's it going? Freedom says, put the wrestling mask on TJ and call him the El Blanco assassin so he can come on the show. Yeah, I know TJ definitely wants to come on the show. I could actually loan him the mask. Actually, he has a pretty big head. I don't know if the mask would fit his head.
That mask would not fit his head.
I was about to say, I don't know if the mask would fit his head. A mask would
fit Andre the Giant when he was the Giant Machine back.
Yeah, it would be like it would kind of just be like propped up on his head a little bit.
Okay. X, I don't know if you remember when he graduated from high school, they give you the caps and stuff. And
you had to cut the sides out because it wouldn't fit his head. It was one size fits all, except for him.
Yeah, it didn't fit him at all. We had to cut the back out to fit his cannonball in there. All right, let's do our ad read if you don't mind.
All righty.
We're going to start with DraftKings Pick 6. And this is the holidays are heating up on Pick 6, DraftKings' newest fantasy pick'em game. Make your NBA picks for a shot to win big cash prizes this holiday season. Here's how it works. Just choose more or less on 2 or more player stats. The more accurate your picks, the bigger your payout. It's a kind of upside you'll only find on Pick 6, not those other pick'em sites. And it's available in most states, and stores too, but mostly states, including Texas, California, Georgia, and more. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. New DraftKings customers can play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits with the code THPN. Ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer. And now we're going to jump into our regular ad read from DraftKings. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. So, like I said, if you like to, if you're into the gambling thing, you'd do a lot worse than DraftKings.
Very true.
So, X, let's bang into some of these comments here.
Let's knock them out.
Knock them out. You got to knock it right out of there, X.
Freedom here says, so happy Schaefer didn't make Olympics and risk injury. Disappointed Horvat did. He deserves to put that Milan arena is scary. I think. Did I read that right?
Okay. Freedom, we love you. That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I see where
it's
you're
not like they're playing on the face of the sun.
Oh, you realize the ice surface is not the correct length. That's a problem. Regardless of what you think, it's a problem. It is.
You know what? I guess I'm like a ray of sunshine. I'm always positive about everything. Actually,
okay, no problem. When injuries occur, okay, it's the same thing about everybody hates playing at MetLife, right? People say they need to change the turf. It's taken more careers than anybody else. Everybody hates MetLife. It's the same thing. It's the surface. The surface they play on has to be up to code and good conditions. You can't be playing on a shorter ice surface. It's going to cause injury. When somebody gets hurt getting run into the boards and is out for the rest of the year, Grumpy, during the Olympics, we'll say we told you so. That could have been Schaefer.
Well, we'll have all of our Russian games played, all of our Russian players, because they're not even allowed to play in the Olympics.
That is true.
Stevie P says, yes, let's get some grump predictions in this joint. All right. Already did that.
Yep.
Freedom. There's two now. Freedom. Listen to me. We love you, but someone else has to call you the curve. I'm the one who has called myself the curve. So you can't steal that from me. That self-curving stuff just doesn't work, except for me.
The self-curving.
Freedom is the curve. I have been saying for years NHL was in an arms race and the Islanders were disarming. I said the Islanders
soft and need fighters.
Now all media podcasters except softies, Rosner, Staple, and Grumpy agree. You're right. I do not agree with that. You got to have guys who are tough, but they don't have to be fighters.
And Stevie P here says, we lose to the Mammoth in OT, beat the Maple Leafs and Devils in regulation.
I don't think we get 5 points out of 6.
Do you think you think we beat the Leafs?
Yeah, we always play the Leafs tough for whatever reason.
My only thing is the Leafs are in a circumstance now where they need to try and win every game possible. I mean, I feel like everybody is, but it means more for them than it does for us, I guess. If we drop points, it's not the end of the world, whereas for them it's pivotal if they want to make the playoffs. I just think they're in more of a dire need situation. So I don't know. I just feel like we might struggle against them.
Yeah, they've just not been playing well. I just think that I don't know. I just feel like that we're going to beat them for whatever reason.
Only time will tell, right, Grumpy?
Freedom says, Grumpy, you can't get sick if your system is alkaline only when acidic. Diet, stress, and even exercise make you acidic. Look up alkaline foods. Take a green powder like Vibrant Health, etc. You know what I do when I'm sick? I'm one of those people when I'm sick, I don't eat at all.
He sleeps.
And I've been unable to sleep. Last night I slept, 2 days ago, I got 2 hours sleep. 2. And I was just terrible. Now, last night, I slept for 4 hours, was up for an hour and a half, and then slept for another 4 hours. So I'm feeling pretty good now. But I need to make sure I drink more. That's the thing, is drinking more. So I've been trying to drink some tea, just drinking, the grape elixir, but that's about it. I'm one of those people, when I'm sick, I'm just like, I don't eat, I don't drink, and I really have to work on that because I'm very, very dry right now, just doing all this talking. And even though I've been drinking today, I still feel like I'm dehydrated to a certain extent. Stevie P says, Schaefer definitely deserved to make team, but selfishly, I'm glad he didn't. I don't know. Don't you want your players to look? I don't know. He's just so tremendous. I just like to watch him play.
You want to see him play, and especially on the biggest stage.
Yeah,
one of the biggest stages. I'll say the biggest stage probably. I mean, the Olympics. I don't know. The Olympics. What would you say is a bigger stage, the Olympics or the Stanley Cup Finals?
Stanley Cup Finals.
You think it's bigger than? What do you think gets more eyes and viewership? The Olympic Finals.
The Olympics.
But I guess that's why I'm saying it's a bigger stage. Seeing him play at the Olympics.
I think it's a world stage.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Everybody's watching.
You know what I wanted? Him to play and just light it up for Canada and be the best defenseman on the team and score the game-winning goal in the
final.
That's what I want. Yes,
goal-winning
goal, the golden goal, if you will.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to see. I want to see that kid show the world that I'm the best in the world. That's what I wanted, and he still might get that because there's going to be injuries. I mean, X, you notice playing fantasy this year, guys are on the injured list all the time.
You're gonna be like from the other guys. You'd be the Yankee Clipper. You're gonna go in and take out the defenseman.
Very true.
Open up spots for Schaefer.
Freedom has a nice comment about X right here. If you want to increase viewership, Grumpy, add a pretty girl and dump the son who has the arms of a girl.
Freedom's comments are now not going up after that. I'm now going to ban his comments.
I will say one thing about TJ before him and X. We put up all comments. It doesn't care. A lot of people get offended by stuff like that.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
None of us. We don't care. We could care less.
Here's the thing: if you can't laugh at yourself,
that's right. We never take ourselves too seriously, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Drew says, "I swear we're the best, worst team in the entire league." I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Happy New Year, says Meatball Park. Happy New Year to you. Stevie P says, Wilson is having himself a year. He absolutely is. He's been really good. Freedom adds, Grumpy and X, I agree Schaefer deserved to make the roster, but delighted not. Many of those international teams don't care how players
are playing now. Okay. Did you play for us before? We do need Wilson type. We need at least.
On the team. I'd love Tom Wilson on the team. Freedom says 3 fighters. What hurts Wilson is he is uber dirty. He's not like he used to be, even still, and then was petrified and refused to fight a real fighter. Remember Ross Johnston dragging him all over the ice? Happy memories. Yeah, Tom Wilson turned himself into a real hockey player, though. I give him my respect. I just do. Stevie P says, Eiserman worries me a lot. I think he should be worrying you.
Yep.
Another host saying, I'm going to say another Oliver Wahlstrom. Freedom says, Eiserman will be fine. He hasn't been the same this year since his injury. That was a dirty hit, too. Well,
still, that's area of concern, especially if he hasn't been the same. I mean, who's to say he ever gets back to that? And especially if it's injury related.
Yeah. But I wasn't impressed with him last year either, what I saw of him. He doesn't do little things. Anthony Duclair doesn't do little things in the defensive end. He's looking to and fly the zone. It cost us against Chicago. He's looking to fly the zone instead of staying in there and make sure that the puck gets out of the zone before you're leaving, before you're just bailing. And that was the problem we had with him when we signed him. He was always hanging around the center ice line, looking to break out. I see a lot of Eiserman in that as well. You don't want guys like that on your team. You got to at least pretend that you're part of the team defensively. You have to help. Stevie P says David Rittich and Sorokin are 1 and 2 in goals saved above expected in the whole league per 60. I thought Logan Thompson was by far.
Yeah, Logan Thompson was at the top.
Okay. Long story short, those other
yeah.
guys. The Islanders' goaltending has been outstanding this year. Ever since we switched goalie coaches.
Yep.
It's been night and day.
Yep.
Time is now 666. Oh, that's the devil sign 666.
It is.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? Hey, we give run to everybody, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hope everyone has a good new year. Go Isles.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, I think they just add numbers to the back. So
they could.
Wickerman says, do you guys think this team is smoke and mirrors? The way they lack offense, they get outplayed, but find ways to win. Both goalies have been fantastic. X, I'll let you tackle that question. Do you think the team is smoke and mirrors?
I think a little bit, yeah. I think they're producing more than they're producing better than the results that they're getting. I guess, or sorry, they're playing worse than the results that they're getting. I feel like they win a lot of games that they shouldn't. And I mean, I think they're getting quote unquote lucky with some of the wins that they have due to phenomenal goaltending and lucky bounces in the offensive zone. I don't think it's going to sustain. I don't want it selfishly. I don't want it to sustain. I want us to get a better opportunity at a better draft pick. If I'm being honest, I don't want us making the playoffs. But if we make the playoffs, great. I will absolutely be pulling for us to win. I'll be pulling for us to do whatever we can to win. I don't want the team to make decisions to try and win. I still want us to stay on the same course, which I know we've gone over this several times already. But yeah, I will absolutely pull for the team to win if we make the playoffs. But selfishly, I want us to not.
Yeah, I agree. The team has been, for the most part, smoke and mirrors, outplayed. They percentage of win, whatever the heck. There's some little website that predicts which team should be winning the game throughout the course, and the Islanders are always on the losing end of that, like 8 games out of 10, and they still are playing. You know what? What's the only thing that matters though? X, who's got more goals than the other team?
Yeah, well, yeah. Who's winning the game?
Yeah, and the only thing that. Okay, I don't think we're going to have a lottery pick this year. Certainly not number one. We're not going to get Gavin McKenna or somebody. I just don't see that, right? But our prospect pool is so weak that we need to get more prospects in here. We absolutely do. So I agree with you 100% when it comes to, do we want the team to be buyers at the deadline? The answer is no, absolutely not. I'd much rather sell. I'm still of the mindset that you need to move Tony DeAngelo, Anders Lee, and JG Pajot at the deadline. Period. Got to move them. Get assets in there. And if they want to come back on cheapy deals,
let them. Yeah.
In the offseason,
prove to us that you want to come back. It was the same thing that happened with Tavares. You know, you can't take somebody's word on. You know what? Show me. Prove it.
Yeah, that's fine. Stevie P says they need a better human than that D-bag Tavares. I don't think John Tavares is a D-bag.
Every Islanders fan will hate him for the rest of his life
because he left as a free agent. Okay, but
it's not the fact he left as a free agent. It's the fact that he freaking lied. That's the reason why. It's the fact that he lied. I don't think people would care if he left as a free agent. It's the fact that he lied to everyone.
Whose fault is that?
And again, that's why I said, after you should learn from your previous mistakes that you made with Tavares and make these guys prove it that they really want to be here, that they really want to stay, or they really want to retire with the team. Because guess what? At the end of the day, when the dust settles, you give them that option at that contract and they don't take it. Well, guess what? I guess they really didn't want to retire here then.
My whole thing was Garth Snow needed to move him. I don't care what he said. They were going back and forth for a year and a half on a contract extension. He kept on pushing off. You know what he should have said? Dude,
you have till this date to sign. If you don't, we're moving you.
That's right. Because he said he didn't want to move. He said, okay, because they desperately wanted to keep him. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
And the general manager needs to just do that. Now, supposedly Charles Wang wanted him to stay. And that was the real, or whoever was the owner at the time wanted him to stay. I'm sorry. What's best for the club needs to be done. You cannot.
No player is bigger than the team.
That's right. That's right. Cannot let that happen. Stevie P says, why not a 3-2-1 0-point system, 3 regulation, 2 for OT, 1 for OT loss? No, it's no.
Then you end up having people play for overtime losses or the overtime point. To me, it would make the game better if you don't get a point for an overtime loss. You'd have a lot less overtime games, and you'd have teams really going for it at the end of a game to try and win. It'd be really, really exciting.
Yeah. Yep. Wickerman says MVP Horvat right now. No, I totally disagree. That's all right. He's been good, though. He's been number 3, I think. Number 3.
I think Horvat's been good.
Freedom says, Grumpy, did you notice Sunnex say my Bruins?
Okay. I'm going to just nip this in the bud right now. The reason I said my Bruins is because I predicted them to make the playoffs and play really, really well. And I kept giving Grumpy crap all the time about how, oh, look, my Bruins over here, they're overperforming. They're not my team. I don't like the Bruins. I just wanted to prove Grumpy wrong.
Can you name any Bruins?
No.
No, you should be able to name one. The kid who was drafted there this year.
I can't remember his name though. The one that was hanging out with Adam Sandler.
James Hagens, the one that the Islanders.
That's right. Yes, Hagens. That's right.
Think about this. What Darce wanted to do with that Montreal trade was take those 2 first-round picks to get Hagens.
Which would have been so dumb.
So dumb.
Well, Darce, I don't think Darce wanted to do that.
That's exactly what Darce wanted to do.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think Darce wanted to do that. I think the Islanders wanted to do that.
He looked disappointed. They have the film. They have it on film. The Islanders put that out there where he called them, and he looked dejected when they said no. Now, James Hagens has looked pretty good in the World Juniors. So
yeah, I don't care. He ain't as good as Schaefer.
Well, that's for certain.
Yeah.
Freedom says, hold on, we didn't read
it says at the bottom, it says, hopefully Baby Liza is an Isles fan. What are your 2026 goals?
And do you not have one son who's an Islanders fan?
Oh, I'm an Islanders fan.
Yeah.
All the teams I pull for the Isles.
There you go.
TJ does too.
TJ does too. But he does it. He'll get into arguments with him and Phil. They were going at it today about some ridiculous thing. What woke me up when I'm sick? Just bing, 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 bing. You remember how I told you my phone is not bing, and it's not binging for like when the warden shoots me text. We're not getting any bing.
But it's binging now.
But it bings. No, it bings for TJ and Phil going back and forth, and they're like bing, 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 bing. I'm like, what the hell? Am I even a pinball machine here? What's going on? Stevie P says, I'll give it to Ilya as MVP. Wickerman says, Sorokin, yeah, easily. CVP says, I think Wah has been the MVP. Gatcomb.
I think for underperforming players, he was saying Gatcomb.
And Holmstrom is probably, let's say, was Wickerman. Yep. CVP says, with Henneman, you know what you'll get from him every time. Absolutely. That's right. He is what he is. Stevie P says, Siplikov is the most disappointing.
What's it?
Of all time. I won't say of all time, but he's been disappointing this year. Thomas Antonetti says, good evening, gents. Want to wish you and your family a very happy and healthy New Year. Same to you, Thomas.
Yep.
All the best always. Hope your Christmas was wonderful as well. With that, thoughts on Horvat making the Olympic team? Well deserved.
Yep. Agreed. He's been playing well this year.
Absolutely.
Nobody can argue that.
Yep. Thomas Antonetti adds, do you gents see the Islanders making a trade for a relative enforcer, even a Wendell Clark type to protect Schaefer and others? No.
Yeah, I would be very upset if they made a trade for an enforcer.
The team is going to have to stick up for him, and they have been.
They have been. I mean, even Barzal.
Yeah.
Even Barzal's been jumping guys.
Anthony Duclair. They know this kid.
Yes.
This kid is the team.
Agreed.
You don't jump him. Everybody gets involved. You don't all have to be fighters. I mean, fighting's done in the NHL, right? Who doesn't love fighting in the game? I loved it.
Majority of casual fans, that's all they care about. They're like, this is the only sport other than UFC and boxing that you can fight and not get ejected from a game. The only one. That's all fans care about is fights. You ask any casual fan or anybody who really doesn't watch the sport, all they care about is the fights. When are fights going to happen? I want to watch some fights. JP says, Happy New Year and good riddance to the last one as far as I'm concerned. LOL.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Wickerman says they're playing over their head. They are.
Yes.
They are. JP says, if I'm Darce, I'm sending out feelers for Horvat or a package containing Horvat. They're not moving Horvat.
After the season he's had this year, it's not happening.
They're not moving him. Yeah, they're not moving him. Thomas Antonetti says, here's the thing. If you're moving Horvat, there's a lot of other guys I'd move before Horvat right now.
Correct.
Thomas Antonetti says, aside from our lack of potent scoring, I really feel that another solid defenseman, a mid-range scorer with a strong defensive presence would solidify our back end and limit those deficiencies. Okay, and this is what I mean. What would you have to give up to get those pieces?
A lot.
And that's the whole thing. You don't want
Here's the thing. What teams are willing to give up those pieces?
Those are the pieces we have. I mean, you lost Palmieri. Okay, so he was our second line right wing. Okay, you're going to have to pay for guys like that. What's the big picture? And Darce knows. If the thing is, okay, I'm telling ownership, this is like a 2 or 3 year rebuild. We're going to load up with prospects. We're going to be, we're going to make free agent signings, but just short ones like they did with Drouin, 2 years, stuff like that. That's fine. You got to build that farm system because everybody's not going to pan out. Does Eiserman pan out? Who knows? Does Eklund pan out? Who knows? Does Aitchison pan out? Who knows? Does Prokhorov turn out? Who knows? But you got to have options. The Islanders haven't had options for years. That's why they have to overpay the draft at the deadline, trade deadline, every year. They overpay, giving away draft picks for guys who are 30 years old. You can't do that. You got to build the core from underneath. And I think that's what Darce is doing. At least that's what I hope. JP says, what would happen if these guys would have had to play at the old Boston Garden or the Arden Buffalo? You want to talk about small rinks. Boston Garden, that was like hockey in the cage. Exactly. Not every rink is the same, or they weren't the same size.
The ice surface typically is the same size in every rink.
Not back in the day.
In the end, okay, but now it is. Now it
is. But Boston was the Garden was absolutely small.
They also didn't wear helmets back in the day. And goalies didn't wear helmets, and they took pucks to the face. Times have changed. Times have changed, right?
Yeah. Well, the game was tougher back then too.
Sure, I'm not disagreeing that. I'm just saying times have changed a little bit. The guys now skate a lot faster than the guys did back then. Well, I don't think you're going to disagree that.
The equipment is way better.
And I agree. But that doesn't take away from the fact that times have changed since back then. So.
I mean, think about it. If a guy lost an edge, they had to go off the ice, and it would be 5 minutes so somebody could take his skate off, sharpen it, put it back on. Now they just have replaceable blades, right?
Yeah. They just clip them in. Yeah.
Thomas Anthony says, how great would it be to have a legit sniper on our top line to impose fear in other teams? Not since Ziggy Palffy have we had one, correct? Way overdue. All good teams need that. It's true. Didn't we have Thomas Vanek? Vanek was after Palffy. He was really good with Tavares and Ogboso that 1 year. Really good for however long he was there till the deadline. Milo Brownie says, what's X thoughts on the Bruins now? Think Grumpy called it.
I got beef with Milo Brownie. She doesn't comment, and then she comes in and absolutely smokes me in the comments. Come on now. No, yeah, Grumpy was right. You know what? I still have a little bit of hope.
No. And here's the thing. They don't care. They're not going to be loading up. They're going in. They know they're in a rebuild. You don't hear any rumors of them, well, geez, we were playing really good at the beginning. Let's shore it up by moving some assets we picked with all these trades we made, moving guys last year. You don't see that from Boston. They were like, okay, we know we're in a rebuild. You have to know where you are as a team. What's your team direction? Just because if Schaefer went down, that's it. If Sorokin goes down, well, Rittich has been good. But if Sorokin goes down and Rittich has got to play all the games, that's probably it too. Schaefer's the most important. He is the defense. Stevie P says, I agree that you want to almost show off that we have Schaefer in the Olympics, but it is prone event. It's an injury prone event. I don't know. Freedom says, what are your thoughts on trading Holmstrom in the right package? I would. not untouchable, but does many good things. I don't think he has any value at this
Agreed.
point. Freedom says, "Oh yeah, grumpy Mr. Sunshine. Milan Arena still missing an entire wall on the end of the arena, short ice. Well, maybe if they don't have the wall on the end of the ice, they could just spread it out a little bit. Just throw another couple of feet of ice back there. You know, it's not like
Guaranteed there are other issues.
we're not restricted by a wall on the back end, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, just have them playing half outside, half inside. Great atmosphere.
Thompson is not at the top anymore, just saw his stats. Okay, he was up by quite a bit like last week. Drew says, I sent in a picture of a funny jersey.
Yes, Drew did. Here, I will pull it up.
Actually, you have to give me whatever the code is because I see Drew sometimes sends things and I can't ever get in there.
So it says an Islanders fan pulled up to the game with a LeBron Islanders sweater. He has a LeBron James Islanders jersey on. Grumpy, what are your thoughts there?
Go home, kid.
Go home, kid. I like it.
Stevie P says, whenever we build a lead, we get too loose and calm. Then we can never get that pressure back. We have to play the same game throughout the whole game.
True.
We scored a lot of first game goals, though.
Yeah, we come out hot and then like kind of just fall asleep at the end.
Freedom says, sounds miserable, Grumpy. I hope you get better soon. Kids are biological warfare carriers.
True.
Get your system alkaline or you will be sick constantly until she's in 7th or 8th grade. Your buddy, the Curve.
The Curve.
Everyone knows I'm the Curve. That's all right. Freedom says, you guys take shots and give shots. All shots taken with love. Oh, we don't.
Very true. Very true.
Jeremy says, let's see. Jeremy Ford. Yes, I'm sorry, Jeremy. Happy New Year, guys. Do you feel the trade market will be a little weaker with all the teams so closely packed together? Or do you feel lots of demand for small supply economics will prevail? What do you think, X, about Jeremy's question?
I don't think the trade market will be weaker.
What do you think about his question, though?
It's very, very well written.
Yeah, and it's intelligent. Jeremy he's the best I'm not saying the other people don't ask good questions, but his are always the best. We always said he has the best questions. They're smart questions.
I was going to say, I think it's a little too early to tell now. I think as the season progresses, you're going to see teams start building a little bit more separation, and then that'll determine who goes after, players for the playoffs, who's looking to sell, who's looking, to get in some other players. I think the more the season goes on, there'll be more separation. I think Grumpy would potentially agree with me on that whenever he comes back. I'm not sure. Do you agree with my take on that, Grumpy?
I think you're going to see teams like Toronto want to make a deal. They're not going to want to not make the playoffs. I think you're going to see teams get desperate, particularly if they're all close. Do you want to take advantage of that or not? Is it more important to you to squeak into the playoffs, or is it more important to think big picture with an older team with not a whole lot of prospects?
True.
That's a decision that Darsh has to make.
Yep.
Thomas Antone says, Gents, simply put, which version of this team do you feel is the real identity? The team that flops and fails to score, losing the games they should have won, or the team that went 5-1 on that road trip? It's the same team. We've been the same team basically for the last 4 years. A team that's just in the bottom third of the league in scoring. When we play, we seem to play up to our competition.
Yes,
and down to our competition.
Agreed. And I made that. What was it? I guess comparison like really early on into the season. I was like, we lose to teams that we should absolutely kill and throttle, who are like the worst in the league, and then we go ahead and we'll play against the Avalanche and beat the Avalanche, who are the best team in the NHL. It's nuts.
I like to say we're consistently inconsistent.
Yep, correct.
And that's tough. I mean, you want to be a team where you go out every night and you feel, okay, we have a shot to win every single night, pretty much.
Yes.
Or we should be. We want to be on that little curve that says deserve to win. We want to be in the positive as opposed to the negative all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Vargas says, what is the GM supposed to do if ownership tells him not to trade Tavares? Well, we don't know if that's what happened.
Yeah, I'll say if you're put in a situation like that, there's not really much you can do. If they say don't trade Tavares, you're going to lose your job. I mean,
well, he lost the job at the end of the year anyway.
Oh, well, I guess it didn't matter.
So it didn't matter. I would have moved him. You can't let a guy walk into free agency. You can't do it. Only one team has done it, and the guy came back who was a good player. That's Steven Stamkos.
It's pretty funny by Drew. We are basically the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NHL.
But the Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoffs every year.
They do. They do.
Jeremy Ford says probably somewhere in the middle of that, Thomas.
Yep.
Drive for 5 says Stephen V.
Yep.
Mario Vargas says it's been well documented by various league sources that Ledecky and Malkin ordered Snow not to trade Tavares. They fired Tavares as soon as the season was over. What did it matter? They weren't even in charge. They didn't even own the team at that time, I don't think. I thought they took over ownership after the season.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if you ordered me or not because I'm doing what's best for the team. And you know what? They would have been better off in the long run. Freedom says, on Eiserman, he's an unbelievable goal scorer, Celebrini said last week. I had a lot of fun playing with him because I knew if I got him the puck, he'd score. Well, okay. Like I said, I've been not impressed by him every time I've seen him. Mario Vargas says the NHL documentary on the 2025 draft showed Darsh calling Boston and Sweeney telling him he was keeping the selection. And if you looked at his face, he was dejected over that. He wanted the Hagens kid. Stephen V says, happy holidays, guys. Happy
holidays.
Mario Vargas says, Horvat has been politicking to make the Canadian team just like he's been politicking for the Islanders captaincy. That's the one thing about Bo Horvat that I do not like.
He's a self-promoter.
He's a self-promoter, and he's openly been politicking for the captain job. Openly. I think Matt Barzal should be captain.
Yep. And then Drew here says, sorry.
And in 5 years, it should be
Schaefer.
Yep. Matter of fact, I'd give it to Schaefer now.
Oh, my God. Okay. Drew says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Drew, and everyone.
Stephen V said, watched the sport for 45 years and can't figure out why goalies started playing the puck 10 or 15 years ago. Too many times it cost them a goal. I don't see the benefit. Yeah, maybe you should call up Jacob Markstrom and ask him what the hell's going on. Stupid son of a bitch.
And then Satan's Child says, Happy New Year's, guys. Sunex, did you get a Schaefer jersey for Christmas? No, I did not. I do need to pick one up, though. I'm cheap, so I'll probably wait till it goes on sale, and then I'll pick it up.
Well, that'll be like 20 years from now.
No, usually in the off season they run deals, so I'll probably pick one up when they're eliminated from the playoffs or get eliminated in the playoffs. I'll probably pick one up.
Freedom says, Grumpy, JT lied his ass off. He admitted he was never going to resign in the article after signing with Toronto. He didn't want to change his routine. I agree the Islanders should have removed Power from 91.
Here's the thing. It's not that he didn't want to change his routine. He didn't want to have the Maple Leafs be forced to give up a pick for him is why he did that, so he could leave as a free agent. He didn't want Toronto to have to give up a pick or a player.
We've talked about this on this show numerous times, and I would have given him a take it or leave it. Do you want this? Yes or no? And if he said no, or I want to think about it or whatever, okay, the answer is yes. This is it, dude. With a month to go to the deadline, this is it.
Sign or get out.
Here's the deal. Shit or get off the pot, right? And he says, I want to wait. No problem. We're actively looking to move you. And then you get as many assets as you can. Because the one thing you cannot do is lose a franchise player for nothing, which is
which is exactly what happened.
Yeah. Yep. Now, did it affect the franchise? Yes, to a certain extent. But as soon as he left, they brought in Trotz and Lamoriello, and the Islanders had, structure at the top, not a former goalie. They had who never had any front office experience, and they opened up the wallet with Malkin and Ledecky, and Lamoriello made smart moves early on, and Barry Trotz did a great job coaching. And they were defense first team as opposed to what they were under Doug White, and they turned it around overnight. That being said, they never had enough talent on this team to win a Stanley Cup, and that was Lamoriello's great failing, not going for it. I mean, going for it after losing to Tampa that first year. They took the path of least resistance, let's just do a stopgap thing. This core is good enough. It was never good enough.
Yep. And then Drew here says, by the way, for those worried about us getting an enforcer, his name is our future captain, or at least hopefully our future captain, Matt Barzal.
He's the guy. He's okay. I'm only joking when I say Schaefer should be captain next year. Matt Barzal should be captain. I like his fire. I absolutely do. I think he believes in the Islanders. I'm not saying Bo Horvat doesn't, but Bo Horvat,
he's all in for the team.
Bo Horvat seems like a politician to me.
Yeah.
I don't want a politician. And here's the thing. I want Anders Lee gone. I'm sorry.
Anders Lee, JGP, bye-bye. Stephen V says, what position would TJ be best suited for? PK coach, penalty kill coach, third goalie, or on-ice commentator?
He'd be most entertaining as an on-ice commentator.
I was going to say snack boy, peanut boy.
Oh, peanut boy, not peanut boy.
I was going to say.
You serious? Peanut boy?
Concession stand. Concession stand attendant. Yep. And then Jeremy Ford says LeBron can't hang his name on Nystrom's jersey.
Very true. Let's see Jeremy again. So smart.
And then 2 more comments to wrap up the night. Grumpy Stevie V says, Grumpy, you calling my questions and statements stupid.
I don't think I called the question. Not today. I don't.
No, you didn't call him. No, you're saying that you're not saying that he has intelligent questions because you say only Jeremy.
Okay. Jeremy has always been the best. The most insightful questions come from Jeremy. That's not a slam on anybody else.
I love everybody's questions. I think everybody's questions are amazing, even the ones that rip me and destroy me. I love all of them.
Let's be honest. Jeremy is right at the top with that. He just is. This has been well established on the show. You know what?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I have no comment.
But here's the thing, Stevie. Your game's got to get better if you want to be Jeremy when asking questions.
No comment from X.
So intelligent. This is not like he just started this today.
X has no comment.
Years.
X has no comment. And then this is the last comment of the night, Grumpy.
Freedom says, X-Man and Grumpy, when one of those scrubs turns into actual fighting, what's going to happen to the Islanders? Will be destroyed. Wrong. Fighting his way up and has been for 3 years. Review Calgary and Edmonton and Tampa Bay, Florida this week.
I like fighting.
I like the fighting too, but you can't have guys that just fight anymore. The Islanders can't afford that. Come on.
Anything you want to say before we hop off tonight, Grumpy?
Yes. I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. And we hope that everyone had a great 2025 and we wish everyone a fantastic 2026. We're serious about that.
Yep.
And
we look forward to seeing you here. And if you enjoy the content here on the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast as well in 2026.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. I just want to, of course, thank everybody for listening, interacting in the comments as always. Look forward to 2026. Hopefully everybody has a good New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Please stay safe. Make smart decisions. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.